Chat, the weekend or vacation from hell is over. And when I tell you guys, this was actually the days of like vacation from hell, I wasn't fucking joking. I don't even know where to start. I'm gonna be real. Seriously, where do I even start? Chad, would you rather be full screen or do you prefer this better? Oh my god, hello? Hello? Wait. Why am I frozen? Okay, what if I change this to something else? Then switch it back. What the f are you guys doing back there? Get over here, get over. Hey, dude, if the bull could end, that would be great, honestly. Okay, chat, do you guys like this one better or the full screen better? Because I swear to God, if I go back and I get stuck, I'm ending the stream. That's it. Full screen? Okay. I swear to God. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't break. Oh my God, dude, this has literally been the worst week ever. Dude, I'm actually just all over the place, dude. I missed 3 days of streaming when I plan on missing a half a day or a day at most. All right, you guys want to walk through this? Let's walk through this. So I, as you guys knew, planned to take Saturday off because my friend was visiting from Vegas/San Francisco before the NFL season starts, because then we won't be able to see him for the rest of the year. So this is his last time he's gonna be home in Boston. So we were like, okay, let's do a little something, right? So I was like, okay, I'll put Saturday or most of Saturday off. We'll do it. Okay. So I woke up Saturday morning at 6:45 a.m. to my neighbors screaming, like literally screaming like banshees, like actually standing in the hallways yelling. And I'm like, what the mother of now normally my building's not that bad, but I have a fan on, my AC's on, I can't hear anything. So I'm like, how the fuck do I hear these people? I was like, wait a minute, it's quiet, the power's out. So I get up, I'm like, I go to the bathroom real quick. I'm like, you know what? There's no better time for the power to be out than in the morning. Who cares, right? Like, it's a Saturday morning. Yeah, it sucks, but it's at least not nighttime. And then I hear someone, I get back in bed, I get snuggled back up. I'm like, okay. And then I hear some absolute Karen, not from my floor, but upstairs, somewhere in that direction, just started screaming. This is unacceptable. I can't believe the power's out. This is unacceptable. And I'm like, oh. I was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was like, okay, that's it. I'm up. So I got up, went to the bathroom. Water's working. Okay, we're good. I go turn on the shower. It's just cold water. So I take this ice cold shower. I'm literally freezing in the shower. I was like, okay, whatever. So it's about 7:45, 8 o'clock at this point. And I was like, all right, I'm not going to sit here in the dark. So I was like, I'll try to be like a productive member of society. I'm going to go out, get a coffee, maybe get some breakfast, and I get out to my truck. And I hear some absolute Karen down like 3 buildings down, screaming to someone else, yeah, the power's still out. I don't know when it's come. I'm like, Jesus, mother of. So I get in, turn on, drive up the street, get up to the end. And I notice that all the lights are out all the way down the street, like all the power, like the street lights, intersections, everything. So what the police did is they cut it off. So you couldn't go across and take a left. Like you could only flow with traffic. So I'm like, I wanted to go left. I can't go left. I have to go right. So I go about a mile down to the right and I'm like, okay, there's no point in me turning around and going the other way. I'll just go to something this way, right? I'm driving and I'm like, oh, there's a Panera in the next town over. I'll just go there. And so I pull in the parking lot and I was like, oh, my buddy's actually normally awake this time in the morning. Let me see if he wants to go. So I'm like, yo, you want to get Panera? He's like, I'm actually at work right now. He does like YMCA work. So like, you know, like kids like who need to be watched for like 2 hours in the morning on Saturdays. He's like, I'll be out really soon though. I'm like, oh, I bet, but I'm probably going to get something while I'm here. And he was like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I was like, I'll just get something small though, so that we can get something after. He's like, yeah, for sure. So I go into this Panera, I get a coffee, and I get a bacon, egg, and cheese. The coffee's like $5, something like that, $4. The bacon, egg, and cheese is like $6. They had the audacity to give me this. That's my thumb. If you can tell, if I put my whole thumb across it like this, I would have covered the whole thing. How much was that? It was about $6 and change. And my coffee wasn't good. It wasn't very good. I right then and there, I should have known we were in for a bad time. But then I realized, I was like, we're gonna probably go to a bar or something tonight, and I don't have like nice clothes to go out. I haven't gone out in like a year and a half. So there's a place next door. It opened at 10. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go buy a new outfit for tonight, like some nice like dress shorts and, you know, some like a nice shirt, you know. So wait for that place to open, about an hour, sitting in the car. Go in, you know, it takes a little bit, but I find something I kind of like. I'm like, you know what, this is all right. So I buy that, and then my buddy calls me and he's like, yo, like, you know, you want to get food? And I'm like, yeah. So I go to his house, and I shit you not, this dude had texted me 2 minutes before I pulled up. I go to his house. I know his whole family. Like, I've known them for many years. And so I walk up, I go up the back door. Back door's open. So I walk in, and she's like, oh, hi, Jeff. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, you know, he's asleep. I go, Carol, there's no shot he's asleep. She goes, I'm not kidding. He's asleep. I go, he just texted me 2 minutes ago. And she goes, you know how he is. And I was like, okay. So I walked in, and he's literally out cold, face planted on his bed. Out cold. And I was like, I looked at my phone. It had now been 4 minutes. It's been 4 minutes. And I'm like, how? Like, literally how? And so I just said out loud, I go, how? Like, seriously, bro, how? And then he kind of shifts a little bit, and he's like, huh? I'm like, really? He goes, oh, my bad, I fell asleep. I'm like, dude, you gotta be shitting me. And so we weren't talking more than like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. My other friend was supposed to pick me up because I didn't want to drive into Boston, you know, worry about Ubering home, then Ubering back in the morning to go get my truck, and then come back again. I was like, let's all go together. So he texts me, and he's like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry, but he's like, something's up with my grandma. Like, I'm not going to be really late. I don't even know if I'm going anymore. It would probably be like, are you able to Uber yourself or get a different ride? I'm like, all right. So I asked him, I was like, if you're not busy, like, you know, I was like, I'll buy you some shit. He's like, all right, cool. And so he's got a brand new car, and it's tiny as dude. I had the most miserable ride into Boston, dude. I'm like this in the passenger side, but it's whatever. He dropped me off. Appreciated him for it. And that's where like the story like gets kind of okay, you know, kind of okay. Like, have like a good time there. Saw my friends, you know, whatever. But after a while, I didn't feel like going out, so I was like, I'm gonna go home. Okay. They're like, yeah, sure, bro. Like, you know, thanks for coming. Blah blah blah. So I ordered an Uber, and Uber comes, and I get in it. It's not that far of a ride, you know. And so we're driving, and he's on the phone the whole time. He's kind of like just driving like an idiot, like not fast, but just like lane swerving, like he's like half paying attention. And I'm like, okay, you know what, it's a minivan, could be worse. And my exit's coming up, and he realizes it last second that that's my exit, and he goes to pull, like just try to like swerve into it from the middle lane, and there's a car next to him, so he almost nails this car that he doesn't see. So then he swerves back, but then like someone was like changing lanes at the same time, so he does like this double swerve, and then just commits to the right side. So the other guy slams on the brakes, it's like honking at him and shit, but he misses the exit. So he pulls into the breakdown lane and stops, and I go, yo, whoa, bro. I'm like, just go to the next exit and loop back, like it's not a big deal, it's only half a mile. And he goes, nah. So this dude pops it in reverse on the highway and starts backing up to the exit. And dude, I am in complete shock at this point, just along for the ride, just looking over, and dude, like, I show you for a split second, you can tell that right here is the exit, and he's missed it. I'm like, dude, I had nothing to say at this point. At this point, I literally just said to myself, I'm gonna just close my eyes, I'm gonna just hope and pray, and we'll just make it, because at this point, I'm gonna be honest, I've been pretty heavily drinking at that point. I was already gone off of it. So I was like, fuck it, dude. I'm in the most relaxed state I could be. Tip? Oh, I tipped him. He did technically get me to my place. He did technically do it. Was it terrible? Yes, it was terrible. But like, you know, he still did it though. I still tipped him at least like 602 or some shit. But why? Okay, you have to understand. For me to go navigate the Uber app on figuring out how to deduct a tip when it's already locked in, oh, there was no fun, dude. I'm surprised I made it in the front door. Okay, I had already gotten inside and I took a shower, dude. I took a shower and I was literally staring at the shower head and I was like, I lived. I made it. Like, we're good. We made it. Like, everything's okay, you know. And that's, I was like, I should probably tweet this out. Like, that'd be funny as shit. And then, dude, and then chat, you got, dude, I go and I lay down and I go to open my phone and my phone's not working. And I'm like, what the fuck? So remember my power was out this morning? Power's back. My internet's out. I'm like, what? So I'm like drunk, like looking at my phone, like trying to figure out why it ain't working. So I go over, I reset it, I call support Verizon, and I get a robot, and it won't give me a person, so I hang up. I wait like an hour or two before I called again, but like I kept trying everything else, and I was like, yeah, is there like a blackout in my area? He's like, no, you should be fine. Like, there was, you know, power outage, and it was out for a lot of people, but other than that, it should be back. I'm like, yeah, mine don't work. And he's like, all right, well, I can't go out tonight, can't want to go to tomorrow, but Monday. I'm like, Monday? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. What time? It's like 1 o'clock. I'm like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. He's like, have you tried resetting the modem though? I'm like, what? He's like, reset the modem. I'm like, I can't. He's like, why? I go, because it's not in my apartment. Because what do you mean it's not in your apartment? So when they put my apartment together, the modem's in the boiler room. So because he told me over the phone, he's like, something's wrong with the modem. Like, it could be reset, or the battery could have been fried from the power outage, or 3, the whole thing is that needs to be replaced. So he says it's likely number 1 or number 2. And if I can go reset it myself, we could do it now. Guess what's locked? The boiler room, dude. And I can't goddamn get into it, and I can't get over there. So I call the office, and I'm like, hi, I need to get in the boiler room. They're like, ha, no you don't. I'm like, why? And they're like, because we're not letting a resident into the boiler room. I go, well, my modem's in there. And they're like, huh, call them. And I was like, huh, I did. And they're like, tough shit. So if my mom's friend who works there was there, I probably could have got into it, but she only works like Monday through Friday. So I was like, I had to wait till Monday anyways. Whatever. So at this point, the next day, I get an email back from Uber. And so I linked them my tweet and I go, my driver missed the exit and then proceeded to back up on the highway after I told him it was fine to just loop back to the next. This was extremely dangerous. The response? Hi, Jeff. Can you please provide some additional information about this trip so we can better assist you? Did you reach your destination? What exactly happened during this trip? What quality issues did you experience? Thanks for bringing this to our destination. So you don't see my response, but I screenshot. I go, Lewis, you did not just ask me if I made it. Did you read my tweet? Did you look at it? And then about 4 minutes later, it says my ticket is closed. Here's $5. I was like, you son of a bitch. Thanks for being a loyal Uber customer. Here's $5. So I opened another ticket and I go, excuse me, Lewis just canceled my ticket for a guy making an extremely illegal maneuver on the highway and sent me $5. Y'all okay with that? So about 12 hours later, which was this morning, I got a thing back that said, we're really sorry to hear that. We're looking into it right now. We've reviewed the video you sent. Here's your full money back. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. So they give me my $20 back. At this point, I'm kind of like, all right, yeah, I'm my $20 back. I did. I don't even know what to say at this point, you know? Free ride. Free ride. Motherfucker, I almost took a first class ticket to heaven. Free ride. Oh no, it ain't done yet, chat. Last night, I went to go to sleep early. I was like, I want to go to sleep early. Just, you know, I want to time travel to tomorrow. Wait, I did forget something. So I started some medication that I stopped a year and a half ago because I couldn't afford it anymore. And I kind of just forgot I wasn't taking it anymore. But like now, like things are better. I'm like, oh yeah, I could probably do that again. So I went to pick it up and I came this close to absolutely destroying somebody because I'm going about 45-50 down this like a little highway. And I knew this other car in the left lane was looking a little suspicious. They were just like kind of going awkwardly slow. And so I'm like, okay. And so I get to about here and they decide they want to go here. So they go like this. And then they stop. Now, if you've never been in a 2020 vehicle, most 2020 vehicles have a braking system in them. Basically, so like if you're not stopping in time, the car will stop for you. It won't bring you to a complete stop, but it will start to stop you. So I saw this dude go this way. Like he was like pulling it like into it wasn't like a side street. It's like it connects to another street. But like then he realized it wasn't the right one. It was probably the next one because that's the one everybody uses. And this is just like kind of like a residential one. And so I knew that there was nobody on my left. So I went to swerve around him and the braking system locked up and my whole truck went it made the most violent like noise. It just goes like really quick as I go around him. And dude, this guy literally the second he heard the screech really quick, just gone, just like flew into the road. I was like, oh, dude, I was like, I've almost died twice in a span of 12 hours. I'm sick of this shit. Anyways, I go home. I say, I'm done with today. I'm going to sleep. Okay. I watched some anime. I was asleep by 8 o'clock. I woke up this morning at 7 in the morning to 7 text messages from Facebook of all things. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, that's not good. So I opened my email. It's about 10 emails saying that like someone's trying to hack your account. I'm like, that's not good. I don't use it really anymore, but like, you know? So I go to open it. Nope. That is gone. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I go to recover the account. The phone number was changed and they put on a 2-factor authentication with an authenticator app. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I wonder if there's like, you know, a help service. No, they have no email service. They have no phone number. They have no live chat. Nothing. And I was like, huh, that's weird. I had 2-factor authentication on my phone. They sent me the text for it, but he got it anyways. So then I finally got my phone to say, but we don't recognize this location. Like you've never signed in on this device. So I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, well, that's weird. I've definitely signed in on my phone before. But I'm like, okay, maybe when my internet comes back, I can do it on my computer because I've definitely done it at least once on my computer before. So the guy comes, he goes to fix my internet and he goes, where's the box? I go, boiler room. He just looks at me and laughs. He goes, really? I go, I didn't choose that. So he asked me, should I pick the lock? I was like, probably not. He's like, why not? I'll get it done really quick. I go, well, probably because I called them a couple days ago to let me go into it. And if they come over here and they find out that the lock is picked, I'm probably going to get blamed for it. And so I call them and I'm like, can you guys like send someone from maintenance to like open it really quick? They're like, no. I was like, Hannah, I swear to God, you do not want to test me today. And she was like, you have to have them come down here, give us their ID, and then we'll give them the keys, and then they can come back and drop them off. So I go over to the guy. He's like sitting on the stairs. I'm like, so they said that We gotta go get it. He goes, he looks at me and he goes, tough day? And I go, yeah. He goes, feel you, brother. I'll be back. And I don't know if in that moment he saw pain in my eyes. He just I felt like I was gonna get a sigh or some shit, but he just was like, sure thing, dude. Went and got it, came back, fixed the internet, came to my apartment, was like, hey, dude, should be fixed. And I was like, okay. And he goes, you want to test it? I go, no, I trust you. He goes, you sure? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. Well, call us if you need anything. I shouldn't be very far away. I was like, okay. And he left. And now here I am. Back again. And man,